That's John Coltrane. Now, I'm going to continue my recital about. I hate when I start these videos the same way. I'm trying to give you like a one-liner, and my jokes just land flat. I don't know who's writing my jokes. I was gonna get a whole new bunch of jokers, and last night I had a dream, and everyone was fired. I was working at a motel, and uh, everyone showed up grumpy to work. So everyone was fired. Everyone was fired. And then I guess the rest of us that were left over were expected to go and clean all the rooms. And then everything, my dream got very fuzzy after that. But that was the main thing. Was a bunch of people showed up and they weren't happy being there. So they were all told, okay, well, you're all fired. And we freed you from having to come here ever again. Miserable. So what does my dream mean in real life? Well, I think that's what really needs to happen to a hell of a lot of people. They need to be fired out of their jobs that they're not happy going to. If you were fired out of your job that you're unhappy that you go to now, because you go to it because it's your job and not because you really like it, um, it kind of frees you from uh, your kleptomaniac ways. Why would you be a I don't know. This is just somebody just said this in my head. Kleptomaniac ways. Kleptomaniac is someone who thieving. Yes, they like to thieve. And but who would be happier if they were fired? Someone said Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump might feel happier if he was fired from being the president of the United States, but he wasn't. He was allowed to continue. um, I'm going to have breakfast. I'll come back after breakfast. I'm having raisin bran. Can you see raisin bran? There it is, raisin bran. I'll come back. Okay, so one of the ideas I've been pondering is replacing our governments with uh, well, if you took the original indigenous tribes map of, well, if you're in Europe, I don't know what the hell you're going to do because, but I'm talking about people that live in, the Americas. And you look to see what the indigenous tribes were before, Joe Whitey showed up. And if you found the indigenous descendants, and the problem is that they've mixed with old Whitey here, and so, I don't know if you're going to find anybody who's 100% white or 100% red, but if you got those original maps out of which tribes were where, and then you just took a look at all the people who are in that geographic area, and you said, well, I don't know how you would do this, because I was thinking, if the tribe still existed, perhaps they could be asked if they would adopt all the non-tribal people in the area into their tribe so that everyone belonged. And I don't know if they would go for that or not. I don't know if they would say, I can't go for that. But if they would, and everyone got adopted into a tribe, I mean, it would only work if everyone got adopted. If you left, even one person out and we got one man out, then it's not going to fly. But, if everyone did get adopted, I mean, you'd have to have someone who'd say, I'm willing to adopt you, and someone else who said, I'm willing to be adopted. Because if somebody said, I don't want to be adopted, then once again, you're throwing a monkey wrench into it. But let's assume that it all works and everyone gets adopted into a pre existing tribe. Then you could dismantle the governments that we have now. And then the tribes could become the new thing you belong to. And would we be, somehow I think we'd be better off. Why is that? Well, I'm not sure 100% at all. I'm not sure at all. It's just that using countries and governments as we do today doesn't make people happy. I don't know if in the old days before we had these governments and countries, if people were always happy. Best thing I can do looking at history is say maybe not so much. So what's the advantage? It's just a change. Just ready for a change. And, what other options do we have? And this is one option that has been simmering. The option that we go to what we had before we had these countries. And, and then what would happen? Well, I don't know. I just think I might feel more like I belonged if I was part of a tribe rather than, being a so-called citizen of a country. I don't feel like I belong in this country that I live in, that I was born in, because, well, many reasons. But the biggest reason is I can't afford to live in the country I was born in, so it doesn't work for me. So I want to ditch it. Which means I want to ditch the whole money system of the government uses. Oh, look at me, funny. You don't think it's going to work? Who's going to adopt me? Well, no one's offered. No one's offered to adopt me into a tribe. No one's offered to marry me, and no one's even brought me flowers. So, I'm 3 for 3. I struck out.